Yo, welcome back everybody. We got another action-packed week of news from the van here. We saw one of the largest exploits or hacks in crypto history happen this week on a bridge between Solana and Ethereum, so we're definitely going to dive into that. We saw a number of companies get into the NFT space, including GameStop finally unveiling what their plans are. And we also had some big news in the music NFT world. Before we dive into all that, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Now let's get right into the news. And what was probably the biggest news in the crypto and web3 space this week, we saw one of the largest hacks or exploits in crypto history when a popular bridge, Wormhole Crypto, for the Ethereum and Solana ecosystems was exploited for over $325 million. The exploit allowed the hacker to mint 120,000 Ether or wrapped Ether on the Solana blockchain, and then they were able to bridge about 93,000 of that back to the Ethereum blockchain for a total of $250 million, and they still hold about 25,000 wrapped Ether on the Solana blockchain. A notable white hat hacker on Twitter who goes by Sam CZ's son released a thread that sort of explained how the exploit worked. He pointed out that there was a bug in the Wormhole crypto code that allowed the hacker to basically spoof the signatures needed to verify an address that allowed them to mint as much Ether as they wanted on the Solana blockchain. And looking at the GitHub history, it looks like a fix for this exploit was actually developed a few weeks ago, but hadn't yet been rolled into the production code base yet. And actually on the same day, just a few hours before the attack happened, the code for the fix was uploaded or pushed to the public GitHub repo for the project, which might have tipped off the exploiter that there was this vulnerability in the code that existed. Luckily, this story has a somewhat happy ending because Jump Capital, who's the parent company of Wormhole Crypto, announced that they would make the bridge whole again and refill it with 120,000 Ether to recapitalize the liquidity on it. This is a massive sum of money and a big hit to replace what the hackers stole, but Jump Capital basically prints money operating a stock trading desk. Jump also claims that they're making this move because they have high conviction in a multi-chain, cross-chain future and they want to be a part of building it. But this comes just a few weeks after Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin raised some concerns about the dangers and potential hazards to the entire crypto ecosystem of these cross-chain bridges. And following up on last week's story on all the drama in Frog Nation and the Time Wonderland community, turns out this week just brought more drama with it too. So over the weekend, the Wonderland community in Frog Nation was voting on a proposal of whether to shut down the DAO and liquidate all of the funds in the treasury. And it was a pretty close vote, close to 50-50. Because of that, Daniele Sestigali, the leader of Frog Nation and a founder of the Time Wonderland project, announced that because it was such a close, divisive decision, that he would be shutting down the project, even though the vote hadn't yet completed. But by Monday, the community had voted to keep the project going, giving Danny a vote of confidence. So he tweeted that he and the team were working on looking for paths to move the project forward. But he also made a claim that he was planning to lead the project directly himself, which isn't very decentralized for a DAO. This all comes as Michael Patron has started to wash about $3 million through Tornado Cash from his publicly known wallet address. A new malware named Mars Stealer was uncovered this week, and it appears to be targeting browser extension, crypto wallets, and two-factor authentication apps. The Trojan appears to originate from a Russian bloc country as it checks the language of the device first before performing any action and basically just removes itself if it sees that the language ID belongs to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, Belarus, or Russia. If the device isn't from one of those countries, the malware will find the files containing the private keys for your crypto wallets or those two-factor authentication apps, copy it, and once it steals your information, it'll delete itself without even leaving a trace. It targets Chromium-based extensions like MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, or Binance Chain Wallet. And since many of the most popular browsers are Chromium-based, like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and the Brave browser, there are a lot of different extensions and users that might be vulnerable. The best way to protect yourself against this malware is to be super suspicious and skeptical of any software you download, especially if you're downloading something from a shady site or from a torrent site. So, YouTuber Coffeezilla, who I'm a big fan of by the way, released a video exposing streamer IcePoseidon for a rug pull scam that he pulled off recently. The scam involved CX Coin, which IcePoseidon created last summer and pushed on his social media to all of his fans as a long-term project that was planning to allow you to tip creators with crypto. Coffeezilla even made a video trying out this tipping mechanism and found it wasn't even live when he tried. And of the reviews that he found of people using it in the past, months ago, it seemed like it had a lot of bugs and glitches. Despite calling the project a long-term investment, IcePoseidon, aka Paul Donino, admitted that he only worked on the project for about 2 weeks, and then a few months later, just this last week, he pulled almost all of the liquidity for the token for the CX coin off of the liquidity pool. He took about $500,000 and left about $40,000 in liquidity, sending the price of the coin in a free fall towards zero. Amazingly, Coffeezilla was able to get IcePoseidon to agree to come on a recorded phone call, and this is what he had to say.
You want to keep the money that's not yours, that you took from the project, even though you failed to deliver.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want me to say, but yeah.
I'm trying to get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that.
Yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. But I'm going to look out for myself and not do that. I don't know what else to say. That's just the most honest answer.
So essentially he's just admitting to running off with his fans' funds and shows no remorse for it. It really shows you how skeptical you have to be when you see projects being pushed by influencers, especially because they're probably getting paid on the back end or are involved in creating the project, and they have vested financial interest in pumping it. And I'm not sure any of these were the most shocking ways that we heard of crypto being stolen in the last week. In South Korea, 2 crypto YouTubers were sentenced to 3 years in jail for spiking the drink of a third crypto YouTuber who they were working with in order to steal his phone and steal $650,000 worth of crypto tokens. And that wasn't the only story that came out in this last week of somebody drugging someone to steal their crypto. Another story also came out this last week of a son in Maryland giving his dad a high dose of benzodiazepines to knock him out, steal his phone, and steal $400,000 worth of crypto. Another sports superstar is getting into the Web3 game as LeBron James announced a partnership between the LeBron James Family Foundation and Crypto.com, who also happens to be the title sponsor of the arena that LeBron's Los Angeles Lakers play in. The goal of the partnership is to support educational and workforce development opportunities for Web3. It will allow students and families in the foundation's I Promise program access to tools and courses to help learn Web3. Facebook's Diem crypto project announced that it's reached a sale of its assets for around $200 million to California bank Silvergate Capital. Silvergate CEO Alan Lane says that they purchased Diem with plans to launch a stablecoin in the next year. Lane claims that he wants the Silvergate stablecoin to be used more for everyday payments and less just for crypto trading like the current stablecoins are used. Silvergate had already spent some time working on the platform and partnering with the foundation before purchasing it. They operate the Silvergate Exchange Network, which is used by both Coinbase and Gemini. Some of the regulatory pressure that kept Diem from being able to achieve any success by being associated with Facebook also led to 4 Facebook employees who worked on the Diem project leaving to found a new company called Miston Labs. They cited that a major reason for them moving on from Facebook was that the consistent regulatory pressure that Facebook faced was preventing them from achieving some of the goals and dreams that they had for blockchain technology. Miston is planning to release an open source permissionless version of the Diem blockchain later this year with the hopes of competing with Ethereum and Solana. And what this really shows is the theme of the tech exodus from big tech companies to the exciting world of blockchain technology and Web3. But we did get some good news out of the Facebook Meta camp this week as they announced that they'll be members of the Crypto Open Patent Alliance. By becoming a member of the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, Meta has committed to not enforcing their core cryptocurrency patents. The alliance requires members to contribute their patents to a collective patent library in an attempt to keep the blockchain world open source and to speed up innovation. Crypto enthusiasts in India finally got some guidance this week, though it could be read as good or bad. Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the country's plans to legalize crypto, or so it seems. She announced that they're planning to launch a digital rupee sometime in the next year or two, and that they're also planning to tax digital assets and crypto at a 30% tax rate. She never explicitly mentions cryptocurrency or NFTs, but a lot of industry experts are taking digital assets to mean cryptocurrencies and NFTs. While some think it's a good sign that they're proposing these taxes, as they're not going to tax something that they see as illegal, which seems to give it a hint that crypto is now legal in India, some also fear that the 30% tax rate is way too high and will lead to a lot of retail investors avoiding crypto. It was a fairly slow week for fundraising this week, but we still had a few big rounds raised. Phantom, a leading Solana wallet, raised $109 million led by Paradigm at a $1.2 billion valuation. Phantom originally started as just a browser-based wallet, but they recently released their iOS app and announced that they have plans to release an Android app hopefully later this year. Phantom has been able to command a large amount of the market share on Solana despite getting some pushback for being one of the only non-open source options for wallets. They do plan to release their wallet code as open source in the future, but right now don't feel like they can support the nature of running an open source project and having to respond to all of the GitHub requests and issues. They're also planning to support multiple blockchains in the future, as well as add support for Ethereum and other EVM compatible blockchains hopefully soon. They're planning to use the funding from this round to hire talent to go after these ambitions. NFT platform Pixel Vault announced on Wednesday that it closed a $100 million round led by Velvet Sea Ventures and O1A. They plan to use the money to help them build an NFT development platform which will help develop multiple franchises across TV, movies, and video games. Pixel Vault already has a Heroes and Villains NFT collection, and they plan to develop this into a Marvel-scale entertainment universe. And they're also the creators of the MetaHero universe. Popular Web3 and crypto analytics tool Dune Analytics raised a hilarious $69,420,000 round this week. The meme round of 69,420 values them at $1 billion. The round was led by Kotu and also included participation from well-known crypto and Web3 funds Multichain Capital and Dragonfly Capital. Dune provides a tool for on-chain analytics for multiple blockchain and allows users to create dashboards or save queries for all kinds of different analysis of on-chain data. They're planning to use some of the funding to help build the infrastructure to reward analysts who are using their platform to build these tools and dashboards. And they're also hoping to attract more users and analysts to Dune. For the record, I just started using Dune like a month or two ago and I love it. I'm a data analyst by day, so I love playing with data, and Dune has made it really easy to go on there and play with on-chain data and to see what other users or how other people are looking at on-chain data. But if funding was a little slow this last week, NFTs definitely were not. ApeDAO, a DAO that holds 81 Bored Apes and 81 Mutant Apes among other NFT holders, was voting this week on whether they should liquidate their holdings or not. The DAO was set up by a group of investors to try and become the largest holder of Bored Apes. But with the massive price appreciation of NFTs, particularly Bored Apes, which have a floor of over 100 ETH right now, a proposal was made by a member of the DAO to liquidate the DAO's holdings and distribute all of the proceeds to the members or holders of the Aped token. The value of the NFTs that the DAO holds is estimated to be about $32 million, but could be much higher, which is almost double the price of the Aped token that the DAO released, which buys you ownership in that DAO's collection of NFTs. This would result in the massive distribution and a massive gain for people who had bought the Aped token if the DAO was to liquidate its holdings. The vote concluded yesterday with most members of the DAO voting to liquidate the holdings, and it looks like they're following through with that because this morning we've seen a number of NFTs being held by the DAO being listed on LooksRare. After months of hiring and teasing a move into NFTs and Web3, GameStop finally unveiled at least their initial plans by announcing a partnership with Immutable X X to create an NFT platform, presumably for gaming. For GameStop, it's unclear how it'll be received, as it seems a lot of hardcore gamers are really against NFTs, but GameStop was saved last year by meme stock retail traders, and meme stock retail traders seem to love crypto and NFTs. GameStop says it chose Immutable X because of Immutable X's ability to allow gas-free minting of NFTs. Immutable X is a scaling solution that uses zero-knowledge proofs to help cut down on gas fees, and GameStop believes, like I believe, that low gas fees or no gas fees are going to be essential for gaming NFTs and on-chain gaming, because games require players to make a lot of different transactions and take a lot of different actions. GameStop and Immutable also announced a $100 million fund to help encourage developers to build on Immutable X. Cameo, the popular app for celebrity shoutouts, announced the Cameo Pass NFT collection this week. Cameo Pass will be the company's first foray into NFTs. The Cameo Pass will mint for 0.2 ETH and will allow holders access to limited release content from creators, access to exclusive in-person and virtual events, and some new features on the Cameo app. But Cameo didn't really announce or provide any details on which creators or celebrities are participating in this program, so it's not really clear yet what you get with the Cameo Pass. It is a move that I think makes sense, though, for a company like Cameo that's trying to build communities around their creators and around their celebrities, and that's a great use case for NFTs. It looks like Coachella is also diving into NFTs, but they're diving in head first, announcing the launch of 3 NFT collections that all go on sale today. The Coachella NFTs are being launched by FTX US. And one of the most interesting thing about one of these 3 collections, the Coachella Keys collection, is that it's a collection of 10 NFTs where each holder of the NFT basically gets a lifetime pass to Coachella. So the holders of one of these Coachella Keys NFTs gets 2 passes to Coachella every year while you hold that NFT. Holders of the Coachella Keys NFTs will also get exclusive access to virtual experiences and events. The other 2 NFT collections that Coachella is launching includes a 1,000 NFT collection that can be redeemed for a physical photo book of Coachella events, and a 10,000 NFT collection where each NFT is an image or a soundscape of the event. The NFTs will exist on the Solana blockchain, and Coachella announced that they're planning to donate a portion of the proceeds from the NFT sales to charity. I think this was a brilliant move by Coachella to put themselves in the middle of this mind space, and I also think it's pretty unique utility to have for an NFT to get lifetime passes to a music festival as big as Coachella. That's something that not a lot of other NFT projects are able to offer, and I definitely think they're offering a lot of utility out the gate with their NFTs, so yeah, good on Coachella for doing it this way. And lastly, we had a pretty noisy week for music NFTs, starting with music NFT platform Hitpiece coming under a lot of fire from artists. Hitpiece is an NFT platform built on top of the Spotify API that was promoting and selling NFTs with links from the Spotify API to artists' music and cover art, though none of the artists were associated with Hitpiece at all. Since Hitpiece was built on top of the Spotify API, it's not even clear what users were buying because they weren't buying rights to any of the assets. They were literally just buying a link to Spotify. After finding out that Hitpiece was making money on their work, a number of artists started tweeting out their outrage at the platform on Twitter, which caused the platform to take itself down shortly after. Hitpiece later released a statement claiming that they were planning to pay artists for items sold, but it's not really clear how they thought they were going to be able to do this when none of these artists were associated with the platform at all. It's not all bad news for music NFT enthusiasts, though, as John Legend launched his music NFT platform this week. Oddly enough, Hitpiece was actually selling some John Legend NFTs on their platform. The platform, which will be called Our Song, will allow artists to create NFTs called Vibes that they can sell to their fans to grant them access to gated chat rooms or early access to music. The platform plans to allow fans to buy Vibes without a crypto wallet, so I'm not sure if these are really even NFTs then. You'll only be able to purchase them using the Our Song platform's OSD token, which you can purchase with a credit card, a debit card, a wire transfer, or USDC. And this wasn't John Legend's first play in the NFT space, as last spring he had a partnership with NFT platform OneOf, who had their own big news to announce this week. Warner Music Group, which owns one of the largest and most legendary music catalogs of all time, which goes back almost 200 years, announced a partnership this week for a label-wide deal for NFTs for artists with OneOf, the platform mentioned before. It's still unclear what the utility of these Warner Music Group NFTs will be, but in the past, OneOf has offered benefits such as music royalties or access to special events for holders. OneOf markets itself as a green, energy-efficient platform for NFTs because it's built on the Tezos blockchain, and it's carved out a pretty solid space for itself in the music NFT landscape. It already has partnerships with the Grammy Awards and iHeartRadio, to name a few. And that's your news for the week. So next week I'll be heading out to ETHDenver in the van. I'll probably make some videos of the drive as we go and some videos covering what all goes down at ETHDenver. Still planning to do a news video next week, though I might try maybe doing a midweek news video too, just to break these up a little so there's not so much to cover in one video, just doing once a week. But yeah, I'd love it if you'd subscribe if you would like to catch up on next week's news or follow along on my ETHDenver journey next week. You!